All right. What the hell? 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to the Pig Trail Network YouTube postgame show. For those of you who were over at the Hog Talk podcast halftime show over on Facebook, shout out to you. Thank you guys for being there. To our Discord peeps, got a little heated today between 2 or 3 individuals, but mostly civil. Shout out to all you guys. Remember to like the video. Let's get this thing up. Let's get to, I don't know, I'm going to set a goal. Let's get to like 50 likes. We could do it. Help me out. Share the content across social media. Also, for people who are coming in afterwards, I get this comment every once in a while. Listen, the first 5 to 6 minutes, excuse me, my throat. The first 5 or 6 minutes, that's meant for people to come in, chill. Most of you know the first 5 minutes I'm sharing stuff on social media. I'm getting the word out, and I'm trying to give everybody time to come in. So for those of you who are kind of new to watching the show here, just skip ahead to when the PTN going live soon picture goes away, and when I'm here, just fast forward to that. But I do appreciate you guys watching and being a part of this. The house is a little crazy at the moment. We're cooking a Friendsgiving dinner. Well, we're not. Our neighbors are using our oven, so we've got a lot going on in the living room. Make sure you guys share this to your social media and to Discord. Matt Stacy, Ty Hudson, long time no see. I've been here, brother. I've been here, Matt. Where you been, huh? Specialty. I'm going to start off right there. Yeah, I'll get to officiating. I'll get to them sons of bitches here in just a minute. Special teams, you burned a timeout because you didn't have enough guys on the field or whatever the case may be. Once again, special teams played mostly good today, but they ultimately cost Arkansas a very big timeout that was huge. They could have used that later on in the game, obviously, and they had to burn it. I get that they're thin. I understand that. Some of that personnel that didn't play today were on special teams. But, guys, you can't do that. The mistakes this year on special teams have been atrocious. I mean, you can honestly argue you were better off on special teams or about the same as you were for the last 3 years. Nothing has changed there, and I think they've regressed in some areas. Getting flags on 4th downs. Today, that wasn't the case. We saw a punter come in and had a pretty good job punting the ball. You missed the field goal there. I don't know what happened. Looked like it got blocked. I was so pissed off at that point, I didn't even watch the replay. Special teams is garbage. I don't care when someone's going to come back in later and go, oh, well, Ty, but you got to understand, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. They've been garbage all year. They're terrible. You're nervous when they take the field. I had no confidence they would hit any field goals today. I'm surprised they got one. I have no confidence when our special teams is on the field. Earlier in the game, you had Treylon Burks cost them yards, which ultimately didn't matter because you were able to go down the field and score. But he fielded a punt back inside the 10-yard line. He should have let it go. That clearly would have bounced out of the back of the end zone. And luckily for them, at that point, Arkansas was getting it figured out on offense. Play calling was confusing today. There's so many things I want to, look, Arkansas, someone said in Discord we beat ourselves. Well, yeah, there were some mistakes. The penalty was costly. The interception early on was costly. The officiating was flaming hot bullshit garbage. That fumble early in the game, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Here we go again. No clear recovery? Or what? What are they doing? I can't defend. I can no longer defend the argument that, it's not a giant conspiracy theory. I can't defend that when they have bullshit stuff that happens like what we saw today. And then, of course, the targeting call on Catalan was garbage. I don't know what he was supposed to do. I can't believe I'm agreeing with someone from ESPN or from the SEC Network. But the announcer was right. What are you supposed to do there? At that point, what the hell are you supposed to do? This officiating crew, once again, they get Arkansas. You were already battling the fact that you're thin on defense. My God, you had Enoch Jackson playing in when Jonathan Marshall had to go to the bench. That should tell you everything you need to know about what's going on up front today. You were thin. There are people that were claiming in our Discord we should have postponed this game. I mean, I'm glad we had the balls to play it. I also understand that argument as well. The officiating today, once again, I think in the long run, they didn't have a direct effect at the end of the game like they did against Auburn, but they had a direct effect of the overall game when first off, that fumble was nonsense. Fouché clearly fumbled or recovered that fumble. And then that Catalan, that was not targeting on Catalan. That hurt him. The officiating today was for the most part, I would say, just garbage. I don't even know what to say anymore. This is why I absolutely hate the SEC. They're going to come out. If they say anything at all about the targeting play, they'll just double down like they did with that nonsense call against Auburn. They'll just double down and protect their own. They don't care. They don't care. Arkansas's they're not Florida. They're not Bama. Hell, they're not Auburn right now, even though they're better than Auburn. They're not LSU. You're not going to get those calls. That's just the way it is. That's the way the SEC is. You go back to Ole Miss and Auburn, what happened earlier. Ole Miss is in the same boat. You're not Texas A&M. You're not those schools. We don't care. We're going to give you the worst officiating crew that already screwed you over once earlier in the year. We don't care. What they should have done was ban every one of those guys from ever officiating another SEC game. But no, what they do, they double down. They doubled down. They defended their guy. They defended their SEC officials. I would love to see Greg Sankey come out and maybe talk about, we're going to put our officials through some more training or something. Try to own up to it, but we all know that won't be the case. He'll recite Bible verses on Twitter. He'll recite religious stuff, which that's fine. That's him, that's great. He's a religious guy. Good. I'm glad he is, but when the SEC, when you've got teams getting completely screwed over by officiating, you need to address it. This is so, it's absurd. It's absurd. Now, did Arkansas lose strictly only because of officiating? No. Run blocking was atrocious. Traylon, for the most part, was nowhere to be found. I told you guys, not even Rakeem Boyd can overcome bad run blocking. And I think people thought I was making that up. You saw today, Traylon averaged for most of the game like 2.5 yards a carry. You can't overcome bad run blocking. When you don't have holes to run through, I kind of was hoping we would see. Someone had brought up in Discord about seeing more TJ Hammonds. I agree. I wish we would have. Traylon was not the guy today. People keep talking about he's the guy. Well, he wasn't the guy today against one of the worst defenses in college football. And TJ Hammonds, what little we got to see of him, he blew up. Why not feed the guy that's on fire? Play calling was bad. Play calling for about 60% of this game was not good. You racked up a ton of yards, but you also there were some head scratchers. There was some head scratching play calling going on in this one. That first quarter, oh my gosh. Arkansas has overcome worse odds. You go back to that Tennessee game, Auburn. They came back and made it a game when Auburn had that big lead. They've not been good on offense in the first half. And I think, too, you're dealing with slippery, we're trying to run the ball and you couldn't because the ground was wet. Every time Felipe Franks tried to make a cut, he was slipping and falling. And he's already someone who should not be running the ball as much as he is. But I get it. We're trying to run the RPO. I get it. Curls is just the face of bullshit. Oh, man. Thomas Nunley, proud of our Hogs. Badass first year. I am proud of what they did defensively. I'm surprised they didn't give up more. I really am. Mr. Bloodline, no fumble targeting and then tripping. Yeah, the tripping call. I don't. What are you supposed to do? How do you overcome horrendous officiating? How do you do it? I don't know how you do it. Maybe someone out there has the answer because I don't have it. How do you overcome when you've got to deal with the weather conditions? You're thin because of COVID. No run blocking. Oh, and by the way, you're going to deal with some of the worst officiating you've ever seen. And it's like, yeah, they called a couple of good holding calls on LSU, but they also got away with a lot. That happens. There's holding that happens probably on every play. It seems like, they always call it when the other, I'm glad they got some calls, and you didn't lose this game strictly because of officiating. If anyone's saying that, you didn't watch the full game, okay? Arkansas did beat themselves. Arkansas had trouble. Again, your run blocking was bad. You were thin. Your front seven just completely worn out. Your secondary looked like toddlers at times. They looked lost. 4th down and 3, early in the game, the quick slant's coming over the middle. You know what's going to happen. And I said this, I think I said this on the halftime show over on Facebook. You see Fouché turning around because he has no idea what's about to happen. They're lost on 4th down and 3. Fouché doesn't know what to do. There's the slant. 1st down. You converted on 4th down. Arkansas also doesn't help when you go, what'd they finish? 0 for 10 on 3rd down. 0 for 10 on 3rd down. That doesn't help. You're talking about the worst defense in the worst passing defense in Power 5 football, and you're horrible on 3rd down. And I think that's a reflection of bad play calling. I really do. As much as I don't want to do it, let's run down the numbers really quick. These guys started off great. LSU did on 1st downs. They were like 8 of their first or 7 of their first 11 or something like that. They ended up 10 of 21, but they were 2 for 2 on 4th down. Arkansas's got to be the worst 4th down defense in college football. I swear to God, they're giving up 4th down every single game. They're giving up at least 1 or 2. LSU had 419 yards of total offense. They had 271 yards. That freshman quarterback ripped you to shreds, 27 of 42. They had 148 yards on the ground. They had 9 penalties for 70 yards. They kicked themselves in the teeth a couple of times. Both teams had at least a turnover in this game. LSU should have had 2. Arkansas, 14 total first downs, 0 for 10 on 3rd down. You're not beating anybody, and that goes back to you. It wasn't just officiating that beat Arkansas today, okay? It wasn't the weather, and it wasn't just COVID. It was Arkansas's inability to get any kind of fluidity on offense, and you couldn't slow down. I gotta say this every week: you cannot slow down. Tempo, speed. The minute you slow down, your offense becomes stagnant, and for whatever reason, Kendall Briles, when they slow down, it becomes a lot more predictable. 339 yards passing for Felipe Franks. He was 17 of 26. Again, he did throw that interception, but he did have a touchdown. Arkansas ran the ball for 104 total yards, or 104 yards on the ground on 27 carries. That's under 4 yards a carry. LSU averaged 3 yards a carry. I mean, honestly, when you consider how thin you were, Barry Odom did what he could with what he had. I'm not gonna hate on him. I do think coverage. I don't know again what happened with coverage. There were at least 2 or 3 times, you had Hudson Clark getting burned. It looked like he fell down on man coverage. I didn't get a clear view of what kind of coverage they were in. It looked like man, and he got beat. He struggles in man coverage. That's been his bugaboo all year. But zone coverage is where the secondary's played really well. And this young quarterback ripped this secondary apart, even in zone, even when Arkansas was trying to disguise their looks, trying to disguise their coverage on defense. You got to give it to LSU. Their game plan was to eat up the clock, and that's exactly what they did. Like I said last night, I had zero faith in my prediction for this game. I was very hesitant to give my prediction this week. You can ask our graphics guy Keith. He gets mad at me every week because I'm not giving him my stats. I'm not giving him my numbers. I'm the last usually to do that because I want to get it right. I had no faith this week in my prediction. And in fact, this morning we weren't aware of the amount of players that were out in this game. You were out So many players. And tip of the cap. Tip of the cap for Sam Pittman. You know what? We're playing. They've got balls. We're gonna go out and play. I think Arkansas healthy with a different officiating crew, Arkansas wins this game. I'm gonna say it. I think they do. I think they're the better team. They clearly they had too much they were up against today. It was a perfect storm for LSU to walk in here. Of course, that's how it goes. You know, it's always a perfect storm against Arkansas. Always. It always feels that way, right? And that's exactly what happened. It's frustrating. I am pissed. I plan on, I'm going to tip a few back tonight with the neighbors. That's what I'm going to do tonight. We're going to have a Friendsgiving dinner, and, probably not going to be the most sober individual. Not really because of this game. I mean, I am frustrated. It's fun to get a little, inebriated with your really cool, fun neighbors. But also a little bit, too, because this game was bullshit. We all know it. Let me read your comments. Again, hey, we're at 27 likes. What? Come on. Bring the likes. Hit the likes. Let's go. Hit the likes. Let's break 50. I know we can do it. I'm ready to riot in favor. SEC officials are straight trash, says Mr. Bloodline. Having that 12th man didn't hurt LSU either. I must have missed that. I don't know what you're talking about. I agree. Bryles called a horrible game. It wasn't. I'm not prepared to say it was horrible, but when you consider who you're up against, 0 for 10 on third down, this is why when people ask me what are the odds Kendall Bryles comes back next year, I'm going to say it's really high because his value will dip in situations like this, right? His value as a coordinator is going to take a shot. And I'm not saying he's a bad coordinator. I think he's a good coordinator. I really do. I think off and on, he's had some really great moments. I hate the argument when you say you can't blame the refs. Basically, you're saying we have to play perfect game before we can call out terrible officiating. I'm not saying that, Dave. What I'm saying is it wasn't just officiating. You can't look back on this game and say that it was only officiating. I'll say it again. 0 for 10 on third down is terrible. Going 3 and out, your opening drive, like every game this year except for maybe once, is not a good look. And then you did it again this first quarter. I mean, it wasn't a very well called game. And coverage in the secondary was not good. Coverage overall has been they're getting exploited in the secondary. And I think a lot of people, and yours truly, bought in too much on Hudson. I think overall he's still a freshman corner. He's still a young corner learning the game. He had one great game, and since then he's had moments where he's given up at least 1 or 2 big plays. That's a problem. Overall, coverage today was not good, and then you lost Catalan because of bad officiating. That's where you say officiating had a huge impact on the game. I'll say this, SEC officiating has had a bigger impact on games than they have any business being so far twice against the Razorbacks. Auburn, where it was a direct, might as well have been a direct result in losing that game because Auburn gets they get the benefit of the doubt there, and then they kick the field goal and win the game. Here you had 2 or 3 examples where you go back and go, Arkansas had to overcome that. That's what Arkansas had to overcome. Blatant ref interference. I stopped watching after Catalan ejection. Was just stupid wrong. We played like shit and still should have won. Taking Catalan out was the nail. I agree with that. Taking Catalan out killed this team. Killed any momentum you thought you had. He's good Lord. Did you know he leads all freshmen in college football in solo tackles? Did you guys see that stat they posted in the first half? That's what you lost. And now he has to set out the first half against Mizzou. I started the hashtag. I want to see you guys spread this hashtag. Okay? I'm going to type it for you in chat. There is a little bit of a delay. Oh, of course you're going to be. Come on now. Free Catalan. I want to see that hashtag on social media. Along with maybe hashtag SEC sucks or SEC officiating sucks or something. I don't know. I want to see that everywhere. Free Catalan. He will have to set out in the first half. That is a blow. I don't know what they're going to look like next week. I have no idea how. We found out that you had guys on the defense that did not find out they'd have to sit this game out until Friday. So I don't know if that means that they have to sit out in another week. that makes Catalan even more important than he already is. I want to see that hashtag across social media. Free Catalan. I want to see it. Not just here. Take it to Twitter. Love the SEC. Love the SEC teams. We get to play every year. SEC refs are a joke. I agree. Let me scroll up. Ty, I've never saw more BS in my life. I'm telling you, man. I don't even know what to say anymore. The SEC, it's like I don't know. It's like they're ran by the mafia. I have no idea. They have cornered the market in bullshit. They have cornered the market amongst Power 5 conferences in complete bullshit. Incompetence. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that the SEC officiating has had this large of an impact on multiple games and not just against Arkansas. You saw it against Ole Miss. It's complete garbage. We need to get rid of our dumbass special teams coach. Well, I said if he doesn't get it fixed by the end of the year, you saw where Tennessee's asking their staff. Tennessee is asking their staff to take pay cuts, and they're refusing. Arkansas is probably going to have to do the same, and I have no qualms. I have no issue with saying, you know what? Sorry, Fountain, you're not working out. We saw no change this year. And I don't take pleasure in saying anyone should lose their job. I think he's going to be okay. I take no pleasure in that. But at the end of the day, it's not getting done. Special teams have been abysmal this year. They have taken a step back, I think. Maybe I'm alone in that opinion. Catalan did everything right and by the book on that BS targeting call, says Eric Fountain. I hope you're in no relation to Scott Fountain. Randall Hunt. How you doing, Randall? Catalan ejection was pathetic. I couldn't agree more. I have no idea what you're supposed to do. No idea. 54 likes. Good job, guys. Can we keep it going? Can we keep the likes going? Let's get some more likes, everyone. Thanks, Thomas. Bump that. Matt Stacy, officiating needs to get their asses whipped. I don't condone violence, but I'm a bit of a peace guy. I don't want them. No, don't wish physical harm on anybody, but they certainly need to get their asses whipped in human resources. I'll say that. Their HR guy, their front office, and Greg Sankey need to sit down with all their officials and be like, guys, we absolutely screwed Ole Miss and Arkansas, and we got to get better. They've got to correct some things. Von Rosenberg beat Arkansas. It took LSU 3 weeks off. SEC officials, that's a good point. We didn't talk about that enough. LSU had a lot of time to prepare for this game. We need to let Franks eat shotguns, stop with the flashy stuff. What I also don't understand, in the third quarter, we saw Franks air it out. We're killing them with the long ball. I said that on the halftime show. That's what you need more of. We need more long ball. Stretch the field. Back the secondary off. Spread the box out a little bit. Air it out. You're killing them. And what do? They run the football. They run it 2 out of 3 consecutive plays were runs. Like, you're killing them in the air. He had his best game of the year through the air today for 339 yards. LSU's defense gives up big plays in their coverage. They're terrible. And then they lost. I think they lost a starter. One of their corners got ejected. You had all the momentum in the world, and you decide to start going with intermediate play calling for medium yards and run plays. That's another factor that hurt Arkansas today. It's incredible. Hey, big guy. Love the show. Bryles, gotta go. Gotta go. I don't know about that. Franks is not a dual quarterback like he used to be. No, he's not. He's not as quick as he once was. They always target Hudson's directions on deep throws. They do. You're right, Ashton. They do. They pick on him because they know they can. Ty, why does the best conference have the worst officiating? Seriously, how? I don't have an answer for you. I wish I did. I truly wish I did. How does Curls keep getting jobs to ref Arkansas? He's been screwing over Arkansas since 2009. He needs to get fired. I could be better than he is. That's because he is too stubborn. I don't know. He should not officiate another game that Arkansas is in. You know what sucks about all this is Arkansas, you lose to Mizzou. If you find a way to lose to Mizzou because you're thin because of COVID, assuming the game doesn't get postponed, Your great, amazing season, like you've been the story of the year, you go 3-7. You go 3-7. And you look back, again, not putting 100% blame on officiating in this game. In the Auburn game, I most certainly do. But they had such a huge impact on this game. If you don't find a way to beat Mizzou, you got a 5-year losing streak to LSU. And you're about to have, what is it with Mizzou? I keep forgetting. Was it like four straight losses to Mizzou if you lose this one? So you're going to lose to Missouri. If you can't get the dub against Mizzou, if you've got more guys out because of the coof, because of COVID-19, you go 3-7. Now, you're still going to get bragged on. People are, oh, yeah, they turn around. But it changes the entire theme of this Razorback season. And I think, at the end of the year, they will go back and say that Auburn game cost Arkansas clearly won that game. Are they going to do that for the LSU game? Probably not, because there wasn't a penalty at the very end of the game that changed the outcome like it did against Auburn. But we know, Hog fans know, and it's just exhausting. It just really is. Somewhere, Ken Hamlin, Kenoe Kennedy, and Steve Atwater are up-checking. Do we have to beat Missouri to make it to a bowl game? No. So the way the bowl games work this year, from what I understand, they're going to get to pick. You could still make a bowl game at 3-7, but I wonder how big of an impact, because it's up. There's no minimum win or maximum or minimum win requirements to make a bowl game this year. They get to pick. If I understand that correctly, I could be mistaken. I think Arkansas could still go bowling, but it puts that much more pressure on the Mizzou game. You got to win it. You got to win it for a lot of different reasons. You got to win it. It's not Briles, it's Kendall Briles. Oh, you're talking to someone in chat. Okay. The play calling has been horrible. It's not been good. And I'm telling you, when people ask me, can we keep Kendall? I'm like, are you kidding me? Of course they're going to keep Kendall. Like, no one's going to come along and snatch him if he continues to have these kind of games where the play calling looked like what we saw today. Ty, as Hawk fans, we got to know to bring our own Vaseline. Oh, I'm gonna strike up a big cigar tonight. I'm gonna drink with some friends of mine, some good friends of mine. We're gonna eat some ham, some turkey. I'm gonna try my best to forget about this bullshit game today. Again, SEC officiating is terrible. It's so bad. I'm not putting it 100% on officiating, because it's not 100% on officiating. But they had such a direct impact on this game, along with what you had to overcome with injuries and COVID-19 on defense. I will say overall, they left it out on the field. Marshall, you saw that guy in the first half, leaving it all out on the field. Felipe Franks, almost called him Philip Franks. Oh, Philip Franks over there. Felipe Franks left it all out on the field. I'm proud of these guys. I really am. They played hard. They got to do better. There were moments where they beat themselves. They had to overcome a lot of obstacles. I'm really proud of what I saw today. They do not give up. My God, they don't give up, and I'm proud of them for that. Play calling was ass today 100%. It was not good. It was not good. Again, I agree with you guys on that. 90% officiating, 10% everything else. That's probably pretty accurate, Alex. I'm not going to lie. That's probably pretty accurate. I honestly think Briles will be fine. We improve our offensive line. I'm still very proud of what the Hogs have done so far. Woo pig. Will best Mizzou for Odom. Good game. Go Tigers, says Mark Duncan. Good game, Pigs. Boy, you're just asking for it, Mark. They're going to get on you for that one. It gets more annoying when entitled LSU fans are acting like they were the team that got cheated. Refs were bad, but they were not the team that got screwed over. Amen to that. There was some bad officiating for them as well. Arkansas got away with a pretty blatant PI call there in the game. That touchdown, what was that, the third quarter? That was clearly a touchdown. They didn't get that called back. Ed Orgeron called the timeout. It hurt them too. Let's not sit here and act like Arkansas got all the BS. LSU did as well. But Arkansas caught the thicker end of the stick, if you will. Or you could say longer end, but I wanted to say thicker because I think that's more damaging. Cunningham is playing terrible. I think pass blocking was 50-50. Franks had a couple of times where he had a really clean pocket, and then he had some other moments where it wasn't so clean. It's been that way every week, though. LSU sucks ass this year. Go Tigers like more. Go refs. Refs are a joke, period. SEC refs are a joke. They are. This team deserves a bowl game on guts alone. I couldn't agree more, Brett. 61 likes. I do appreciate you guys. Okay. Join the Patreon. PT, you see it right here. I'm trying to get, where is it? There we go. Join the PT and Patreon. A minimum of $4 a month. You guys want to help the channel out? I would appreciate it. If you don't want to do that, if you don't want to do a monthly thing, there is a PayPal link provided for you down below in the description box. Also, Hog Talk podcast episodes are available down below also. Ty, see you at the next show. Big guy, keep up the great work. As always, enjoy crying with you guys. Oh, man. Healthy Arkansas is better team. I have to agree with that. I don't think you're wrong. Mark, hey... Mark Douglas says how Coach Pittman can push this team through all the distractions and overcome obstacles. Cheating refs to fight to the end. He needs Coach of the Year. I don't know that he gets it. I do not know with that loss against LSU. I don't know that he gets it. He should. I agree. I don't know. Yes, don't forget the hashtag. I want that on social media. Free Catalan. There's a bunch of BS and tag SEC officiating, tag Greg Sankey. Let's make it happen. Let's make it so. Hashtag Free Catalan on Twitter. All right? I will see you guys hopefully on Monday, but if not, I'll see you at some point next week. You guys be good, be safe. Woo Pig Suey, and until next time.